Lights max, loading plays like he's drawn the plan. Kinetik bringing fire like he's leading the band. No matter the game, no matter the sport, we running this pod like it's fourth and short. Press start, locked in, it's game time again. You tune in live to the Sideline Show with Kinetik and Lights max. Let's go, the Gamer Sideline starts now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Gamers Sideline Saturday show. This is a podcast with sports beat the sticks and stories get pixel deep. I'm your host, Mike, aka Lichmax, and with me today we have our other host,
Kinetik.
And today we're doing just kind of a chill talk show. We're just gonna talk about things going on around the league. You guys are more than welcome to call up. We'll drop the link in the chat. But just kind of talking about the CFP, NFL, and the coaching search over at Michigan and other things going on over there.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on this week. Some of it I'm about ready to crash out over, man. This is ridiculous, but yeah, we'll get into it.
Absolutely. Trying to pull up the bull stuff. There it is.
You had one job, Lichmax.
That's fine. So first week of the CFP has been quite an interesting start. Obviously, my prediction went awry almost immediately as Alabama brought home the victory against Oklahoma, which I didn't think was going to happen. I thought Alabama had it on lock, or not Bama. I thought Oklahoma had it on lock with the fact they got Mateer out there. That Venables defense is very tough to contend with, and it was just kind of surprising to see that. Honestly, it looked like DeBoer went into halftime, sat the whole team down, and was like, "Listen, if we lose right now, I have to go to fucking Michigan. We can't lose." And they came out and they chose violence in the second half, like starting off, I think, with almost an immediate touchdown to start the half off, and then just built up the game from there, taking the lead, keeping the lead. I think it looked like they just used the first half to figure out everything that Oklahoma was doing, and then in the second half just ended all of that shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought the whole time that DeBoer being one of the top two guys was fine. He wasn't my pick of the top two guys, but I thought it was stupid to wait for him for this weekend because he may or may not win, may or may not lose. I just don't like putting our coaching search on the timeline of another team. I don't like that.
Right.
I felt like they should have just offered Dillingham and said, whatever happens with DeBoer happens. But the funniest thing for me watching the game last night, what just happened?
I just changed the style.
Oh.
It keeps going to blue for some reason. Actually, we need this one.
I like the other one better. But anyway. The funniest thing from last night, you had Kalen DeBoer, you had Brent Venables, and you had whoever the ref was, the one that would talk. And I swear to God, if they changed clothes, I would not have been able to tell which one was which. It was like the SEC popped them all off of the same batch at the factory. They looked almost identical. Go back and watch it. It's hilarious. Pull up pictures over on your side of Brent Venables, Kalen DeBoer, and I don't know the referee's name from last night, but they look like twins. It's insane. But that game last night, it was funny, man. Like I said, I preferred Dillingham the whole time, even though apparently he was never even an option. So I wasn't riding the emotion of that game like last night, like a lot of Michigan fans were. But it was just funny, the first half of the game, I'm getting all these texts from people talking about, oh, DeBoer's coming to Michigan, all this stuff, and then immediately after, after halftime, it's like the tone completely changed. It was amusing watching it. But DeBoer's a good coach, but I don't know. I think our our board, regents, AD, whoever's in charge of this, really fumbled the coaching search. There's just no excuse for it.
Yeah, I mean, we should have at least put an offer out there instead of sitting on it, like waiting to see like how things were going. I mean, and they might have put an offer out there. We don't know because they're not gonna outright say that, hey, we're going after this coach right now. We already have an offer out. They're not gonna tell us that. So I mean, they might have offers in the wind already, and we're just waiting on people to get back to them. I think there's a good chance that I think there is a chance, unless I may have missed a re-signing. I think there is a good chance that we see that we'll be seeing names like Jesse Minter come up. I've been seeing that a lot in a lot of the lists where it's been speculated that Michigan's going after Minter, which I think would be interesting. But I don't know as if Minter would want to come with Ward Manuel still at the helm of the athletic department. I would love to see Jesse Minter back at Michigan. I think he would be a great addition. Maybe he can teach Wing Martindale what a fucking QB spy is while he's here. But
dude, you got to let that go. That's ridiculous. The thing
we'll
with
drop
Minter,
the link in the chat if people want to come up and chat.
The thing with Minter, I don't think he's coming back. I love Jesse Minter. He's always been an NFL guy. He always wanted to go back to NFL. He literally came to college to get coordinator experience. He was leaving after 23, whether we won the championship or not. He's on the top of all these coaching search lists for NFL jobs. I don't think he's coming back to college. So that's why I've never taken him as a serious candidate for this job search. I think he would do fine. I don't think he wants to be in college. Real quick to this comment that I put up on screen. From everything I'm seeing, Ripstar, they talked to Dillingham's agent, but they never actually offered him the contract. They were waiting for DeBoer, and this is what I said last week that I thought was going to be a problem. Don't make Dillingham feel like he's a second option or he's going to stay where he's the number one option. Don't wait for DeBoer. Go after Dillingham. Give him the offer. Make it an offer he can't say no to, and we would have had him. But instead, they treated him like he was the backup option, and look what happened.
Yeah, I think we definitely should have offered immediately instead of waiting.
I think offer both of them.
Yeah,
and if one of them wants to if one of them wants to say yes first, but I think it was a mistake saying, well, we're not going to offer Dilly until we see what DeBoer says, and then DeBoer, has to wait for the game last night. I just think that's a mistake.
He could have said yes and then finished the game out.
So.
I mean, realistically, like he could have said yes and put a stipulation that stated that he has to finish his season out first before he comes to Michigan.
Yeah, but I mean, is there a chance that there's already a backdoor deal done and he's leaving no matter what happens, and they've already got pen to paper and they're just not saying anything? So
they would have announced it.
No, because there could be an agreement that they're going to continue the search, but they're not actually going to offer the job to anybody else because it's already signed. I don't think that's what's happening. It's possible, but
that also wouldn't work too well because like after this Michigan bowl game, we're going to be in recruiting stage, and you have to the only way that recruiting really works is if the kids know who their coaches is.
They can tell the kids privately that the coach is coming, that it's someone they'll like. There's ways to do it if they were going to do that. I don't think that's what's happening. I mean, it is possible, but I don't think it's likely by any means.
Yeah, I mean, I would want us to pick up somebody who has a good class with him that's contingent on him, on that coach, because then if we poach that coach, we bring not only like members of that class with him, but also potentially also other students entering the portal to follow
the problem with that is that's a nice idea, like in a vacuum, but it's not likely without DeBoer or Dillingham. So let's look at it real quick. So like the tier 1 candidates, I thought were Dillingham, DeBoer, which both look to be off the table right now.
Yep.
And Jesse Minter, which I don't think was ever an option. Ripstar, I don't think that's true. I do think we had a chance with DeBoer, but the timing is just so bad that it's not going to work out because he's in the playoffs. If they didn't make the playoffs, if they had lost last night, there's a good chance that he's on the board, and there's for him to come here. But the timing for him doesn't work. Dillingham should have been the number 1 guy. He should have had an offer a week ago. And the problem with the board at Michigan is that they believe their own hype. They're like, well, we're Michigan, and everybody should feel, blessed to get an offer from us or to get interest from us, and they should feel lucky that we're even considering them. So they go into these meetings or into these conversations, basically telling the other person that they should feel lucky instead of making them feel like they're like a desired coach to bring in. And it's going to put people off. Where if we're talking to Kenny Dillingham, he's at his alma mater. He has a job there for life.
Yep.
We have to treat him like he's the number 1 guy. We have to be willing to give him an offer he can't refuse, not lowball him because he should feel lucky that we're Michigan. And so it's just ridiculous, dude. So like for them to not go after Dillingham while waiting for DeBoer is insane. And I don't know, maybe there's some like home run hire out there that I'm not aware of. And it's completely possible that there's somebody we're not talking about. But who? People are saying Kyle Whittingham. Yeah. I mean, okay, but like that doesn't excite me. Greg Schumann, defensive coordinator at Georgia. Okay, he's a great coordinator. But do we really want to go through the hiring a coordinator that hasn't been a head coach before again?
Yeah.
It's just like, who are we talking about? You talking about Eck from New Mexico? I mean, he's a great X's and O's on the field coach, but he doesn't have any power school experience. Nobody's really excited about Drinkowitz or Clark Lee. Jed Fish is apparently not an option anymore. It's like,
and also to answer Ripstar's question here, I think everyone's just guessing at this point. I don't think there is any hardcore, like actual like hard facts out there right now on this coaching search. Everything is just speculation at this point. So some names have been like put out there as like potential candidates, but I don't think that there is anything like concrete out there yet. It's all just speculation and guesses.
So everything from anybody right now is basically educated guesses. They're basically, there are some snippets of good information that you can get on the boards and all of that stuff, because a lot of the people have sources around the team. I mean, I'm not even like a major name in podcast scene, and I know people around the team. I know things that I've been told that I'm not allowed to say, but a lot of it is a lot of the stuff that I hear is coming from one place, and someone else might be hearing it from another place, and they're hearing it from different places around the team. And there seems to be this issue where we assumed when they went ahead and fired Sharon that there was a common, like everybody's on the same page with where we're going. And apparently that's not the case. There's apparently factions within the leadership of Michigan that are back and forth over who they should offer, what direction we should go, who's a real candidate and why. And so like you've got all these people that are in the know that are feeding little tidbits of knowledge to some people, and that's getting out to some of us, some people behind the paywalls and stuff. But we're all getting a little bit different information. There's some truth to it, but it's just pieces of what's actually being talked about. And then, when what you're seeing from a lot of insiders is taking what we're told and what we do have verified from multiple places, and then trying to fill in the blanks with logic and what makes sense. And you take a look at like the current state of coaching, who could be candidates, stuff like that, things that you see. I mean, obviously there were talks, there were media buzz. Like you can tell by the interviews that DeBoer and Dillingham did over the last week that their agents were talking to people from Michigan, but it's just it's a lot of bits and pieces.
I like this comment right here from AMC Coles. You don't want to. Oh, not that one. Where was it? Here we go. Sorry, from Steve. I said I like Biff. He's 100% bimbo proof. Well, I don't know as if he's 100% because I mean, look at I can't remember his name. It's right there though. It's right there. Belichick. There we go. Belichick. Look at Belichick.
No, listen, Biff is a really good guy, and he's incredibly important to the team. That the players absolutely love him. I can tell you that. I've heard firsthand the players love him. From what I've heard, and again, this is just like I was saying, taking bits and pieces what I've been told, sort of filling in the blanks. The players love him. They don't want him to leave. Biff does not want head coach job. He wants to be able to be an assistant on the staff, to be able to just do his own Biff things around the team and be a mentor to the kids. Yeah. Biff does not want to be head coach. He's willing to do whatever we need him to do. But if he was given a choice, he doesn't necessarily want to be the head coach. And also, listen, I love Biff, but this guy's only been a head coach one time. It was at Charlotte, and he had like a horrible record. He's a great mentor and a great person to have on staff, but I don't know that we necessarily want him. Now, that said, I don't know, man. I mean,
he'd be good for a bridge. He'd be good for a bridge year.
And that's what I was going to say. Like, I mean, is he worse than settling for, Eli Drinkowitz or somebody else, like, versus maybe do an interim year with him, a bridge year, and get all the top names next season before anybody else? But then if you do that, you're talking about basically a wasted year, and you're going to lose a lot of recruits.
See here, I think so. Since the fact that that DeBoer is pretty much but to the best of our knowledge, eliminated from contention.
Well, he's not eliminated from contention.
I said to our knowledge.
It's just the timing. He's not going to say anything until after they're eliminated, and that doesn't work with the timing.
Right, I know. So that's what I'm saying. Like, to our knowledge right now, eliminated from contention, Dillingham is 100% out of the race for Michigan head coach. So who are we looking at then? If we're not looking at them, and Fish, especially since we thought that like Fish would be like our guaranteed third choice, but he's also not available anymore. So
the names that I've heard are Kyle Whittingham, Eli Drinkowitz, Clark Lee. There's somebody else I'm forgetting, and then I've seen the names of Glenn Schumann thrown out there, and there's somebody else I'm forgetting, so I apologize off the top of my head.
Bryant Haynes, maybe.
No, he just got locked up with a long-term extension.
Brian Kelly.
Brom from Louisville.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know, man. I like Clark Lee. I don't like Drinkowitz. I think he runs his mouth too much. I'm not really impressed by Brom. Whittingham is a good coach, and if this was 10 years ago, I'd be fine with it, but he's like in his mid-60s now. He'd only be here for a couple of years. I don't know that his heart would really be into it. He stepped down as Utah's head coach a month ago. Everyone thought he was retiring, and then out of nowhere last week he comes out and says, I'm in the transfer portal. Like, I don't know, man. Like, like nothing about any of them really excites me as a fan. And that's why I bring up the thing with Poggi. I don't necessarily think Poggi as a bridge year is the right thing, but then like compare that to the options that are still out there right now. I don't know, man.
I mean,
I feel like we're missing a bunch of questions in the chat.
We got this one right here. Kurt Signetti, 64. He was just given a 8-year contract, which I mean that kind of goes along with that. He came to the year into into Indiana in the 6 season. Look what he's done over there. I mean, he's done great things for Indiana. He turned the entire program around from being a laughingstock to now a contender for the national championship.
Yeah, but this goes back to what I was saying on the show a week ago. Signetti still has a massive chip on his shoulder to prove that he's as good as some of his other contemporaries. I don't think Whittingham has that chip on his shoulder. Like, he's proven his legacy already. Signetti's still trying to prove.
And then Jeez Louise here, she's fairly certain that that we're going to lose Underwood in the portal.
It's possible. I mean, the only thing I had heard that I've been able to confirm secondhand from Underwood was that he was on board with DeBoer, Dillingham, or Fish.
Right. And
I don't know how he feels about anybody else.
And it looks like we've lost contention with all of them. So we'll see. From AMC Coles, no normal coach would take this job at this time unless it's only for the bag. Who's the AD? You got no Prez, and then there's all the closet scandals.
That's a lot of talking points by rival fans.
Yeah,
coaches get hired by interim ADs all the time. Coaches get hired when there's no AD, and they get hired by the president or whatever all the time. In fact, I'm pretty sure somebody fill in the blank, but I don't think we had a full-time AD when we hired Jim Harbaugh, did we? Somebody put the reminder in the chat for me. Am I misremembering that?
I don't think I think Harbaugh was hired by a interim.
And I don't think we had a full-time AD at the time we hired Harbaugh. It's just a talking point by rivals.
Right. But I do agree with Free Rip here. Apparently, we have both of Ripstar's accounts in the chat here. Waiting to find the head coach could end up burning us. I agree. Like, the longer that it takes for us to find a head coach, the more recruits that we're going to be hemorrhaging. We're going to be losing recruits left and right as the weeks go on, and we don't have a solid position. We need to. We definitely need to get some offers out there if we haven't yet already, and we need to get some names on a list to tell these kids, hey, we got offers out to these guys, and here's who we're going after.
This is why I said a week ago, don't wait on DeBoer. If Dillingham's a top prospect, give him an offer now. Like, don't wait on DeBoer. I thought waiting on a coach that's in the playoffs is a stupid thing to do.
This is a funny one from Jeez Louise. The fact that Ohio is apparently figuring to win national championship, and they're still more worried about Michigan's coaching search tells you all you need to know.
Bro, it's not like it's crazy. Like, just look at the podcast, okay? Just as a sort of like window into the fan bases. I very rarely see a Michigan podcast who's got Ohio State in the title of their shows. But every other Ohio State podcast has Michigan in the title of the show. Like, it's insane. Like, their fans are obsessed.
Sam Stamos got you with the AD timeline.
There we go.
Yep, Jim Hackett was an interim.
Yeah, so that's just a talking point by rival fans.
Right. I mean, honestly, just because I know this probably might not sound realistic for.
Hold on, we missed a bunch of comments, dude.
We
missed a bunch of comments.
While you figure that out. Yeah.
So to this right here, yes, coaching quality-wise, Whittingham would be a better bridge than Poggi. My point was, though, Poggi would be sort of not the head coach, but the interim head coach extended in through next season, which allows us to basically do a season-long coaching search while Poggi is the head coach now, or the interim head coach. I don't think if Whittingham comes here, he's going to be on a 1-year contract. It'll probably be like a 3-year contract with, an extension built in or something like that. I don't necessarily like that idea as much as a 1-year interim and then be able to get a jump start on every head coaching candidate through next season before anybody else. I'm not saying that that's even necessarily the way I want to go. I'm just saying if you compare that to the other options that are here right now, I don't know that it's that much of a difference. Let's see. Sam Webb saying that Jeff Brom's the floor, maybe.
I mean, I would be inclined to agree with that. I definitely don't think we should heavily target Jeff Brom, but if we're in desperate need of a head coach, and we're hemorrhaging the class, then yeah, I think that we should definitely offer him just to get a head coach in there, so we don't look like we're unorganized. Which I mean, to be frank, right now we look very unorganized because we don't have a head coach right now, and we're going on to I think the 3rd week of no head coach. We got to do something.
No, I mean this is only the 2nd week.
Last week would have been the first full week.
Yeah,
and then we're going into the 2nd.
He's only been fired for
a week and
11 days.
Week and a half.
To the Chip Lindsey thing, I've seen a report by Matt Zenitz, which he's usually pretty good, but that's the only report I've seen of it, so I can't confirm it. But Zenitz is usually pretty on point with this stuff. So that doesn't mean he's leaving. It just means that he's on Missouri's list.
To answer your question about the Ohio content, the same reason that people can't take their eyes off a disaster. That's why so many Ohio broadcasters are about Michigan. To be honest, Ohio State is pretty boring for their once-a-decade scandals. But
yeah, that's not the case.
When Ohio does have
it's been like that every single year. Even when Michigan is good, it doesn't matter. Michigan can be good, bad, elite, in the trash. We can have scandals. We can be clean. It doesn't matter. All Michigan or all Ohio State wants to talk about is Michigan. I don't ever see Michigan podcasts going out of their way to talk about Ohio State. And I listen to Ohio State podcasts, but I don't ever see Michigan fans going on there and just being trashy people to the chat rooms. But I see it all the time on our podcast. So, it is what it is.
And the thing is that when Ohio does have a scandal, they don't go small with their scandals. They go big. We have a lot of small ones that kind of add up to something big. But when Ohio State gets a scandal, they really go in on it. They go to the extreme when it comes to scandals for Ohio State. Ours are small ones. This honestly, this Sharon Moore affair thing is honestly small potatoes in the grand scheme of things. It's only bad because it caused him to get fired. Now we have to find a new head coach, but it's realistically not a huge. When you look in the the greater cosmos of college football, it's not a huge deal. It's only a huge deal because it's Michigan. If this was San Jose State, no one would give a shit.
Well, look at the thing for the Ohio Bobcats. Coach was fired for having an affair with an underclass student. Okay, he was fired, but you don't see people making every other podcast about it or making national headlines. It's just because Michigan's one of the biggest brands in the world.
Right. But don't forget that according to them, we are regional.
Right.
We're a regional program. Remember, Michigan's a regional program, folks. I think Jeez Louise might be onto something. I think they're just closet fans.
A lot of them, yeah.
I think they're really just
I think more it comes down to they like to be miserable and they want to make people around them miserable. They won their national championship and all they could talk about was Michigan. Michigan won our national championship and all we could talk about was our team. Like, that's the difference.
I will say, Mathis, the one thing that Michigan can say about Ohio is at least we've never had wins vacated.
Well, hold on though, because like I was talking about the Ohio Bobcats coach. What do you?
He's
Are you talking about
State.
Ohio or Ohio State?
Ohio State. He's talking about
Well,
Ohio
they
State.
get on to Michigan fans for saying Ohio, and now they're saying Ohio.
Yes, but yeah, the one thing that Michigan can say that Ohio State can't say that we never had wins vacated.
Yeah, I mean, there's only two teams in the Big Ten that have had vacated wins, and that's Ohio State and Michigan State. So,
yep,
you know, it is what it is.
To answer your question, Go Blue. A lot of the Ohio State fans like to say that Michigan's a regional program because
they just like to downplay.
I think it irks them to accept the fact that we're national.
They just like to try to downplay and minimize Michigan any chance they get, and they'll say things like that on social media.
I just kind of assumed by how you worded your question. If you're a Michigan fan, that's fine. That's fine. Don't come at us.
Yeah, my fault. The question was worded in a way that I took it as coming from a fan of Ohio State. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I apologize for that.
Yep. CJ Mike here. Right now, people have the right to talk any way they feel. We are the fan base. Yep.
No, but CJ, appreciate you stopping in, man. No, like here's the thing. I'm not just talking about right now. I mean, I'm literally talking about like you can go back to 2017, 2018. Ohio State podcasts, all they do is talk about Michigan. So even when we were bad, then we start winning 21, 22, 23. All they're doing is talking about Michigan. Every other show on Menace, and I actually don't mind the guys at Menace, but a lot of the Buckeye podcasts, every other show, the headline is Michigan, 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 Michigan this, Michigan that. You don't see that from Michigan podcasts. So, yeah, I mean, people want to talk about national headlines right now with the whole Sharon Moore thing. It's whatever. But my point is that it's a difference in the mindset of the fan base that you look at Ohio State, for example, like I said, they won their national championship last year, and they were still more concerned about talking about Michigan than their own national championship. Ribstar, I have no idea. I really have no idea.
I'll tell you
I am so like just taken aback by the fact that they didn't even offer Dillingham a contract. That I don't even know where to think to go from there. I really don't. Okay, so this is an interesting point because this is or not that one. Hold on. So this one right here. Well, no, because it moved right as I clicked on it. So this one right here. Okay. So I don't hate Whittingham as an option. It just doesn't excite me like it would have 5-10 years ago, right? But this is a good point. The 3 to 5 year run to sort of fix the culture and then pass it off to the next guy. That's the same point that I made on our show last week, and then on the recorded video that I did over on my channel at Kinetik 615, the day after Sharon got fired, was that but I made it in the sense of like looking at an NFL guy, right? Like I brought up Mike Tomlin, Todd Bowles, I brought up Brian Flores. Those guys would be, because they all have a reason to sort of take a step back for a couple years from the NFL, then go back to the NFL. I brought up that they would be, if they were to be an option, it would be a 3 to 5 year contract, come in, sort of set the culture, fix the culture, and then pass it off to the next guy. But it has to be somebody that comes in with immediate credibility. And yes, Kyle Whittingham would fit that role. So I'll say, like, I'm not going to be upset if we go and get Kyle Whittingham, but I have questions about, is that where his heart's at and where his mind is at to like be all in on that type of a role, to be like a 3 to 5 year bridge to the next guy. If he is, then okay, then I would prefer him over somebody like Jeff Brom or Drinkowitz. But if his head's not going to be in it, if his heart's not going to be invested into it, and he's not on board with what it is, it might as well just go to the next guy.
Well, to answer this, people can't say go get Urban or go get Saban and complain that Witt is too old. But honestly, I think that Saban and Urban are both too storied names to bring into a program. Like Saban did phenomenal over at Alabama, to the point where like even when he's gone, he still has 3 years of a class that the coach is just now falling into his own recruitment class, having to play them, and then like Urban is a big enough name to where like it could retain some players.
But no, listen, I actually agree with Lee Hart here. Lee Hart, if you go back and watch our show from last week or my video that I recorded on Kinetik 615 on YouTube, I actually said for like basically the same thing that I just said about Whittingham. Was one of multiple reasons that I don't think that that Saban or Urban were ever really an option. And I was telling people to like stop bringing up Nick Saban and Urban Meyer. It's not an option. I'm not going to go into all the reasons. There were other reasons too, but one of the reasons I brought up was their age and that it would just be like a cash grab. They wouldn't really be like fully invested in it. So the same thing I'm saying about Whittingham then I said about Urban and Saban literally the day after it happened.
This will be a quick question to answer. No, we would not.
So okay, hold on. Okay, would I be upset? Probably not. But I'd like to see him see the bowl game first.
Well, yeah,
because from what I've been told from people that I know around the team, there was very much a power struggle on offense with play calling this year. As much as Sharon Moore tried to deny it, there were a lot of play calls that Chip tried to call and Sharon overruled him. And Chip weeks 3 and 4 was the closest thing to what we saw with what Chip Lindsey's offense really is. And even that was a little bit throttled by the game plan that Sharon put in place. The Citrus Bowl will 100%, if Chip Lindsey's there, will be the first chance we get to really see his play scheme, like his scheme for the game.
Yeah.
And I would like to see that before saying whether or not I want to keep him or not. So no, I wouldn't really be upset if he left right now, but I would be a little disappointed if I don't get to see what he could potentially do with the what am I thinking? The word that I'm looking for. With the guardrails taken off, the bump, like whatever.
Oh, the restrictions.
Yeah. So like I want to see what he can do before making that determination.
If you consider the possibility that the Whittingham stepped down from Utah because the Michigan job was open.
So wait a minute, because give me the timeline here, Sam, because I, off the top of my head, thought he stepped down like a week before the thing with Michigan happened. So unless he had insider information, which from the timeline that I remember that I've been made aware of, if he had inside information, it wouldn't have been more than a day or two.
Right.
When did he step down?
December 12th. That's what Ripstar is saying.
Okay, but so when was Sharon fired?
I think Sharon was fired the 11th.
I mean, if that's the timeline, then maybe.
I think Sharon was fired on a Thursday, and then Whittingham stepped down on Friday. Oh, sorry, it was December 10th that Sharon was fired. Then Whittingham stepped down December 12th.
Okay, so that's a possibility then. But that would only happen. I feel like there has to be another layer there. There has to be another sort of piece to that for that to be plausible. Has Whittingham ever expressed a desire specifically to be at Michigan before, or somebody in the front in the on the board of Michigan around the AD would have had to have reached out to him about the possibility of it?
I think if that was the case, I think this comment kind of sums it up. Pretty bold of him to assume he would be a top option for Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more coincidence, but I mean, maybe he was done at Utah and he saw the opportunity, so maybe he decided to like move up his timeline to do it right then to make himself an option. But I wouldn't venture that it's anything deeper than that.
And then real quick
Tim's,
before we get to Tim's, we got a couple other coach related ones. Free Ripstar wants to know would one of the Kellys be a good candidate, Chip or Brian?
I don't want Chip Kelly. I don't want Brian Kelly. No,
neither one of Brian Kelly.
Neither one of them.
But yeah, I agree. I don't think we need either of them.
And for me, that's mostly that I've never cared for either one of those coaches. You look at the reputations that they had. Go back and look. I'm not going to go into the details, but go back and look at the reputations that Chip Kelly had when he was with the Philadelphia Eagles among the players, and just look at Brian Kelly, man, when he was at Notre Dame and when he was at LSU. Like, yeah, he won a bunch of games, but like, did he ever feel like he really fit? Like, it always felt to me like there was something off with him.
Yeah.
And I just don't want either one of them. So, okay, the thing with Brian Griese, I am fully in support of Brian Griese as a quarterbacks coach. I would even be okay with him being a co-OC with an experienced OC.
Yeah.
At Michigan. Not as a head coach. He's not
even with Chip Kelly.
Even
with Chip Kelly, I'd be all right with him being a co-OC with Chip Kelly.
No, I don't want Chip.
Or not Chip. No, sorry, Chip Lindsey. Chip Lindsey. I get the both are named Chip. Yeah, Chip Lindsey. I mean Chip.
Yeah,
Lindsey. Co-OC with Chip Lindsey.
So theoretically, if we bring in like, just for sake of discussion for this point, let's say Jesse Minter comes back. He's a defensive guy. He retains Chip Lindsey as the offensive coordinator, lets him run his offense.
Yeah.
If Chip Lindsey then brings in Brian Griese to be quarterbacks coach, co-OC, I'm okay with that because Brian Griese played quarterback at a high level. He's been a quarterbacks coach in the NFL, and he wants to get OC experience, but he doesn't have coordinator experience. He doesn't have play calling experience. He doesn't have head coaching experience. I'm not on the train of bring Brian Griese in as Michigan's head coach, because then how is that any different than what we did with Sharon? I mean, right. Sharon even had play calling experience. Griese doesn't. So,
although
I mean Tim, yes, it's overrated, but it's also not. Like the biggest, like go back to when we promoted Sharon. Okay, Sharon was a position coach for two different positions. A former football player himself, college. I think he had a stint in the NFL.
I think so.
He's learned from three different legendary coaches. He was an OC. He was a play caller on a successful Michigan team, and we promoted him. And what was the number one knock against him from the day he got the job? That he was a first-time head coach who had never been head coach anywhere before. He didn't have the experience to be a head coach at Michigan. That was the number one knock on him.
Yeah.
So I don't think that following that, I don't think we're looking at anybody that doesn't have head coaching experience. That's why I don't take the Glenn Schumann thing seriously. I mean, Kenny Dillingham has, 2 or 3 years of head coach experience?
Yeah.
That's like the bare minimum. I don't think we're looking at anybody that has less than Kenny Dillingham had. Josh Heupel's an interesting idea. I haven't brought him up because I haven't seen anything indicating that he's even open to the option. I have seen other shows bring him up as an option. I don't hate Josh Heupel. I don't know if he's a good fit for multiple reasons. One, he's a Deep South guy. Okay? So, can he fit in Michigan? I don't know. Chip Lindsey's also from the South.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay, but Heupel's offense is also very different, man. It's not anything close to Michigan. So I personally like Josh Heupel's offense personally, but I also personally liked Rich Rod's offense back at West Virginia.
Whoa.
And when we brought him to Michigan and he was going to completely overhaul Michigan's offense,
we as
look
a fan
what
base agreed that Rich Rod never happened.
Right, but what I'm saying is you weren't around for that. When he was hired, the fan base was hyped, dude. Like he was going to modernize Michigan football with this new spread offense. He was going to change the culture here. We were going to be a brand new type of team, right? Josh Heupel's offense, while it's different, it would be as big of an overhaul. So, like, does it work here? I'm not saying it wouldn't, but are we willing to go through that? A complete overhaul of the offense like that? I don't know.
Yeah. So to answer Tim's previous question in this one, I mean, Sharon played defensive position when he played for.
No, he played offense. So okay.
I thought he was a linebacker for.
No,
Oklahoma.
He was an offensive lineman.
Oh, okay.
So he was an offensive lineman. He was a tight ends coach. He was an offensive line coach. He was an OC and a play caller. He was not a defensive coach. And Tim, to your point that's on the screen right now, literally, if you've watched any videos of me all season long, even while I was defending our coaching staff, I was one of the biggest criticisms I kept saying over and over from back in week 2 or 3 was Sharon, stop trying to overrule the offensive coordinator. You brought Chip Lindsey in for a reason. You brought him in to do a job. Let him do his job. I was constantly on Sharon's ass about that, even while I was defending the coaching staff from people that said they wanted them all fired or whatever. Like, that was one of my biggest criticisms was let the OC do what he's going to do.
And then absolutely, we are worried that Underwood is going to leave. We don't really have anyone to stand behind him and to step up without Underwood. I mean, yeah, we have some on the roster, but I don't think we have anyone that has the kind of potential that Underwood has on the roster currently that's ready to step out onto the field and take charge, you know. Like, I know we have talent on the roster. I just don't know if we have anyone who's ready to step out and take charge as QB, as our starting quarterback. We don't want to go through the same thing we went through this season with another true freshman. We'd like to, if we can, we'd like to retain the guy who already knows the program.
I mean,
now he's played a full year in it.
I don't think Bryce wants to transfer. I think, if we get a coach that he just doesn't like, then that's the only way he's transferring. I don't think he's going to transfer. If I had to put money on it now, I don't think he's transferring. But if we were to lose Bryce, we would have to get a portal quarterback. There's a lot of them in the portal this year, a lot of quality ones. And there's going to be more jumping in. I wouldn't be that worried about it, but
will another school pay Underwood what Michigan is paying, especially after this freshman year? I don't think so. No. I think maybe LSU, but that's probably the only one I would think of. But
people need to understand something. Like, yes, we gave him a lot of money, but money was not the only reason that he committed to Michigan or flipped.
Yeah.
And money is not the most important thing to Bryce and his family. He's not going to leave just because of money. He didn't flip just because of money. Money's a factor. When you're the number one recruit in your class from bell to bell, money's going to be a factor. And yes, Michigan outbid LSU. It actually wasn't as big of a difference as people think it was. The biggest difference is that Michigan's offer was all cash, where LSU's offer was like assets in cash.
Yeah.
But the overall like value of the offer that we gave Bryce was not really that much more than LSU on a yearly basis. But like, you're not going to pull Bryce into the portal just because of money. There's got to be other issues. Like, there's other reasons Bryce is at Michigan. You just have to pay attention.
But
the rival fans like to talk and say it was all about money, and it wasn't.
Yeah, no. Since Bryce was young, I mean, he's got video footage of it where he said that he's always wanted to play for the Michigan Wolverines. Now he's he's got that chance to play for the Michigan Wolverines. So I don't think it's something. I don't think that he's going to leave because of money unless it's like a really large offer. Which after his performance his freshman season, I don't see him getting the kind of offer he got when he was just a potential.
Yeah. Like I said, money's going to always be a factor, but it's not like
Unless someone wants to drop like NFL money on him, I don't think he's going to leave.
Bryce is not making decisions based on money as the primary reason. To this right here, so I'm assuming this was back to our conversation earlier about like when I said that I don't think they're going to go after anybody that doesn't have head coaching experience.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a difference. I personally don't like when the head coach is the play caller. I've been very vocal about that in criticisms of other schools. I said it about Brent Venables at Oklahoma. I say it about my own Minnesota Vikings in the NFL that I think Kevin O'Connell should not be our play caller. A head coach has so much more that he has to do. Should he be able to step in as a play caller when needed? Yes. But that should not be even like the seventh thing on his list of priorities. He should be managing the game clock. He should be managing his coaches, helping them wherever he needs to. But he should be like, but a head coach has to be able to build a team, has to be able to be a mentor to the team, a disciplinarian, an authority figure. He's also got to be able to manage the staff and the team. That takes experience. Now, yes, there are coordinators that can oftentimes step right into that when they have extensive experience as a coordinator. And sometimes there's exceptions to even that. Somebody like Mike Tomlin, who was like a special teams coordinator and stepped right into head coach. But in general, you need experience. And we saw that play out over the last 2 years with Sharon with the mismanagement of timeouts and clock management, substitutions, rotations, stuff like that. So that's why it's important. Not necessarily. He doesn't have any experience managing a team. He doesn't have any experience building a staff. He doesn't have any experience recruiting. He doesn't have any experience in the college game, teaching college kids how to play quarterback, which is very different from NFL quarterbacks coach. He doesn't have any of that experience. What he has experience at is playing quarterback, being a college quarterback 30 years ago, and coaching quarterbacks on an NFL staff. That's not inconsequential experience, but it's not experience that I think would qualify him to be a head coach at Michigan.
So I'll be real. Like, I think that at this point in time, with like our top 3 candidates being knocked out of the running for the most part, as far as we are aware of right now, I know DeBoer could still be in play, but as of right now, we don't know. So like, if I honestly, and this might be something petty to say just because of Notre Dame, but I think we should offer Marcus Freeman. Just because I really want to start yelling.
It's not going to happen.
I really want to start yelling at Notre Dame. Freeman era.
It's a former Ohio State player, former Ohio State coach, Notre Dame head coach, and he's not leaving Notre Dame unless it's for the NFL. It's stupid to even call it.
I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea to just throw an offer out there, see what he says.
No,
but
he's not going to do it.
I mean, you never know.
Mike
Elko is also on the could potentially be available too.
Mike Elko would be an interesting. He would be an interesting potential, especially with them losing to Miami. I wouldn't hate the Elko hire, but I feel like he really has sort of embraced the Texas A&M culture. So maybe
we got
PJ Fleck. To this question, real quick, PJ Fleck. I mean, is he any different than Drinkowitz, Clark Lee, all these other guys? Like, he's fine, right. But how big of a ceiling does he have?
So what up, the Bull will win up in here. What's up?
What's up, guys? What's up?
Not too much, man. What are you doing?
Watching this stupid game. All this game, dude. It's so stupid. I don't even know how they do that. I never understood the playoff bracket thing. I was just like, so there's at-large bids from winning your stupid low conference. That never made sense to me.
Listen, I think one should get in. I'm okay with one getting in. I think there's a lot of value for it, but I don't understand why two got in.
I'm of the opinion that we should just split it between P4 and G5.
Yeah, I don't agree with that, but I don't know why we have two.
Yeah, I would agree. Maybe one, dude, but like
one, let one get in to have the potential to be a Cinderella.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I agree.
I don't.
Like JMU,
I don't think there's
maybe let JMU in, but Tulane. I'm obviously we're saying that after the fact. They're not really showing up right now, but just the sake of like Notre Dame would have been some better competition. They at least have they have a good base. Like they're decent. They're a decent team. I'm probably more decent than Tulane or especially JMU. But
oh yeah.
But no, just to talk about the coach real quick because I got people coming over here in 30 minutes or so. But it seems a little disappointing. I think Dillingham was probably correct that he maybe was not offered the job. I believe he was interviewed and probably talked to with agents and stuff. But people spreading that stuff around like, oh, dude, like, what are we doing here? I'm like, okay, we contacted, we interviewed and stuff like that. Like, chill. Like, I think we did our due diligence with that at least. And obviously, we were late to the game, and it doesn't help that he's an ASU, player and stuff like that. So, returning to his alma mater in a sense, right?
Yeah.
So that might be a tough poll. Don't think it should have been that tough, but it is what it is. I would say
it's crazy we didn't even offer him.
I think it was probably going to be offered. I think we were going to offer him. Maybe we're just slow. I mean, I think that's just what it was. We're just slow.
So, Bull, I made this point earlier, and I said this a week ago. I think it was a misstep to wait for DeBoer before offering Dillingham. In my opinion, offer them both. If DeBoer wants to speak before he gets eliminated or whatnot in the playoffs, let him. But don't wait on an offer for Dillingham for DeBoer because you're going after Dillingham, who's at his alma mater. He's got a job for life there. He's their number one option to stay there. And if we're going to get him, we have to make him feel like he's a number one option to us as well, not the rebound, not the backup. And so I think that's what happened. I think he was willing to see if he got the offer before DeBoer was in or out after this weekend. And when he didn't get the offer, he was like, all right, I'm staying.
Yeah. No, I think that's probably exactly what it was. We were just slow. We just played it slow, right? And then he's probably a younger, he seems like a younger coach, a little more active and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure he was probably a little bit impatient himself. Like, what are we doing here? Like, this sounds great. Like, why aren't you offering me? So, there's what it is. But I gotta wrap this up quick because my kid is wanting to get out of his room. But I would say I'm personally on the Jeff Brom train. That's me personally from the rip. I liked that he wins no matter where he goes. He's pretty consistent. It is technically a Dillingham thing where he's at his alma mater. You got to pull him if you can. You have better resources in Louisville, so that was my vote from the rip. Obviously, there was Dillingham, there was DeBoer, which I felt like that puts us in a weird scenario, which seemed like it played out exactly how most people would have thought. Like, you play things slow, maybe you get no one. And so I like Jeff Brom. Whittingham,
so okay, make the case for Jeff Brom for me, because my problem with Brom, like, you see all the big game Brom stuff, and he beats teams that he's not supposed to, but then I feel like you said consistency. I feel like I see inconsistency from him, because then there's games that you look at and you're like, he should win this easily, and he'll lose it on some random fluke play, but then it happens like 3 times a season. So then is it a fluke?
The guy consistently does a lot with a little. I mean, that's sort of like he's like Kyle Whittingham, but younger. That's how I see him. Like, wherever he goes, he consistently, with very limited resources, albeit Purdue and Louisville, he's had winning seasons. His last season before he left Purdue, he faced us right in the Big Ten championship. It was where they go 9-3 or 8-4, something like that. And then goes to Louisville. Now I think they're back to back 9-3 season, something like that.
Yeah, and every time they lose a game, it's like some random thing happens. It's never like just a normal loss.
But at the end of the day, what do we want here? We want a proven coach, a proven winning coach.
Right.
And you give him better resources, you expect the same or better, right? So that's all I want. I could care less of how you lose. I mean, we can debate that later, but we're looking for just top tier candidates.
So if we're let's assume we're completely out on Dillingham and DeBoer. Is Brom your next guy? Like, I feel like the next tier is Whittingham, Brom, Lee, Drinkwitz.
Me 100%. I was always on the Brom train. I was like, because what was it? I think Steve D put some names out there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Brom, yeah, I forgot about him. He's good. So I definitely would put Brom on there. I don't really want Whittingham, mainly because he retired. So this is very weird. Like,
it was like he retired and then he was like, but wait, I'm actually in the portal.
So yeah, which is weird. So that almost makes it like a Sean Payton thing, which is weird to me. But like Sean Payton, I don't even know how old Sean Payton is when he did retire. So I'm like, so what is it? So I think if let's be honest, we have the resources to make it easier on older coaches. So if Saban wanted to come, dude, we had the infrastructure to that to make it easier.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. I know you got to go, so just real quick, do this with me. Play this out. Let's say we get Brom, your guy. Do you think he retains any of the current staff? Do you think he goes full revamped staff? And do you think he's able to retain the major players on the team?
I think because of his pedigree, I think players will stay. I think he's an offensive-minded coach, so I don't know about the Chip Lindsey aspect of things, but I think he would keep the defensive staff. And I think he'd probably keep Alfred. I think everyone else can probably go at that point. I could care less about the offensive side of the coaches, quite honestly. Kasula, okay. Newsome, decent. I mean, at some point
he improved this year, but
yeah, I mean, who knows, dude, at this point, if it was like people would say, Castillo, or if it was Newsome or Moore. I don't really know. I don't really care. He did an okay job. It definitely, we had a good run game. I'll give him that. But yeah, just to wrap it up, I think if Brown was him, I really do hope it's Brown. That's a tough pull though, because it's going to be like same thing with Dillingham. It's going to be a tough pull. Because that's alma mater. You just got to really pull him, pay him, and I think he'd be a good coach. Honestly, he's a decent age. He does win consistently at really low grade programs that don't have a lot of resources. So I like it, but I think he would retain players based on the fact that of his pedigree. Just same thing with Whittingham would be a little bit different though. If that happens, it's going to be a weird thing, right? You're probably going to expect 3 to 5 years out of him, whatever. So be it.
And I'm okay with that if he's like legitimately invested in it. If it's just a cash grab though for a final contract, like I don't want it.
Right.
Yeah. You want to see if he comes, right? You're expecting playoffs. That I mean, from Whittingham is what I'm saying. If Whittingham becomes a coach, right? You would be like, well, we have to go to the playoffs, or what was the point of hiring you? You're like an extremely pedigreed coach on the end. Tail end of your career. We give you all the resources in the world, and this is what we get. Especially for that guy who has had some teams get close to being in the playoffs. I think he might have had one. So, like, what are we doing? So that would be my thing with him, and he may rub players the wrong way. Maybe he comes and Bryce is like, man, I don't know about this guy. I could see that for sure. Because Bryce is a little loosey-goosey. So,
yeah, we'll see what happens. I think that whoever comes in, I think that we need to – I think keeping Tony Alford is paramount.
I would agree.
I personally would like them to see them keep the majority of the defensive staff. I think keep McCombs. He just got hired. I think he's deserves a chance to be in that spot. Yeah. But I think sit down with Wink, see if where Wink's head's at. If he wants to stay, keep him. And if not, decide between Lamar Morgan and Coach Espo. Promote one of them. Yeah, I would go with Morgan, I would want to bring our guy Jordan Kovacs back from. He's a DB coach with the Bengals, so bring him back in to be the new DB coach.
Yeah, I think whatever DB coach that we or not DB coach, whatever DC that we end up picking up, we need to ask them the hard question: do you know what a QB spy is?
Here, I'll get him, honey. All right, guys, I gotta go.
All right, man. Take it easy, Bull.
Yep.
Appreciate you, man.
Take it easy. All right, bye. We gotta go. All right, take care.
Take it easy, man. No,
also we got Johnny Olden Jr. in the chat here.
Yep, shout out to Johnny. That's our guy.
And remember, don't tell Johnny what to do on Johnny's
Right.
Live.
Speaking of, Johnny, let us know in the chat if I'm wrong, but Johnny has a call-in show that he does every Sunday, and tomorrow's should be pretty spicy. So
yeah, especially since JLJ's in the barbershop right now getting that fresh cut. You can
he's getting ready
tomorrow.
to be on camera tomorrow.
Yeah. He's getting that lineup done so that way when he's on camera tomorrow, he's ready to go.
Right. But yeah, all right. So what comments did we miss here?
Got one from Tony Johnson that just popped up.
Just looking at the same people. Have anybody tried looking outside of the normal coaching carousel? So I don't know. Like Antoine, appreciate the comment, man. I put out a video the day after Sharon got fired, and I listed out a few guys that haven't really been talked about too much. I really think that the next tier, I think Whittingham's in the conversation now. I think you're looking at Drinkowitz, Braum, and Clark Lee. I've seen people throw around names like Glenn Schumann and Jesse Minter. I don't think either one's really an option. Munkin,
I think Minter could be in the conversation because you could just make him say no.
I don't. He's not going to come back to college.
It's
man.
entirely possible, man.
But I wouldn't hate Munkin. I just haven't heard anything about him being connected in any way to the job. So it's the same way that I brought up like on my show, brought up some NFL guys. Like I brought up Todd Bowles because his son's on the team and he would be a instant credible head coach to shift the culture. I brought up Mike Tomlin or Brian Flores or Brian Daboll. There's some pros and cons of that, bringing an NFL guy, because you don't get the portal window where they can bring guys with them. You're bringing someone that, how proven are they at in college? John Harbaugh, I would list him as an option the day after we fire Ward Manuel.
Yeah,
but I don't see John or Jay or Jim or any future Harbaughs coming back to Michigan as long as Ward Manuel's the AD.
Like I think if we find out Monday that they're firing Ward Manuel, I think Harbaugh goes to the top of the list. I think Harbaugh goes right up there. You can expect us to be offering Harbaugh the day after we fire, or the day we fire Ward Manuel. I think that's a realistic choice there. But yeah,
because the bottom line on that is Jim Harbaugh feels like he was done wrong by Ward Manuel, and I agree with him. I don't think that's even in dispute for anyone that's been paying attention, and I just don't see anybody from his family coming back to Michigan or coming to Michigan as long as Ward Manuel's there. But right. I think that the problems with leadership also go deeper than Ward Manuel.
I mean, we could always go after the Ohio State DC, Matt Patricia.
No, I don't want Matt Patricia. Listen, Matt Patricia did really well this year, but it's pretty easy to do really well when your team out talents every other team by as much as Ohio State did this year.
Right.
I want to see what they do in the playoffs. Right. I want to see what they do in the playoffs, because then those games are going to be much closer to the Indiana game. And even then, there's a huge talent difference between Ohio State and Indiana, but it's going to be much closer to that than any other game that they really played this year competitively. So,
I mean, realistically, the Indiana game, I think what happened there was what happened last season in the Michigan Ohio State game. They just got outcoached.
That's true. He's not that far removed from Georgia, but I don't know. I wouldn't hate the Munkin hire. I just haven't heard his name brought up anywhere. So
Right. So let's say that you have unlimited budget. You're running Michigan. You have unlimited budget. You can choose any coach. Which one are you going to go after for the new head coach of Michigan?
Wait, say it again.
So let's say you have unlimited budget to go pick a head coach for Michigan. Who you could pick anybody. Who are you going after?
I mean, if I could pick anybody that's currently like an option, I would probably go after like Dan Lanning, but he's not going. What up, AD?
Hey,
your mic's muted, bro. There you go.
Hey, what up, man?
Not too much. How you doing, man?
Oh, man, not too good after this snooze today.
Yeah, I agree. I wasn't even. It didn't even bother me so much that he signed an extension. What bothers me is that apparently we never gave him an offer.
I mean, I wasn't that optimistic. Maybe I'm the odd man out, man. I wasn't that optimistic about Dilly. It's DeBoer, man. That's the one that really hurts.
yeah, the fact
That's
and since they beat Oklahoma, then DeBoer is going to be stuck there until the end of their playoff run. So even if they did offer him, we wouldn't hear anything about it until after they get eliminated, if we hear anything about it at all.
And now apparently Chip's gone too. Did you see that?
Is he? I saw that he's on Missouri's list for OC, but I haven't seen anything saying that he's accepted the job or even interviewed.
Lindsey?
Well, I mean, he's gone. I mean, that basically means he's gone.
Not necessarily. I mean, Dillingham was on our list and never got an offer, and he's not coming. I mean, look at how many people were on. Look at how many people were on Penn State's list before they got to Matt Campbell.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I was for a split second okay with Biff Poggi staying around was if we got to keep Wink and Chip. Now, if we're losing all these guys, man, there's going to be a mass exodus.
Yeah, I
dude.
agree.
Like we are screwed, dude.
Yeah, hopefully Chip does stay, but I mean, I wouldn't be mad at him leaving. The only reason that I would be is because of the players that would leave with him.
So, John Summerall, did he just accept a job? I thought he just got a new job.
John Simmerall, I do not know who that is.
I'm pretty sure, didn't he accept like the Florida job or something? Like he was still coaching Tulane through the playoffs, but like I'm pretty sure he accepted like the Florida job.
I think he took the Florida job, yeah.
They let him do the thing that Ole Miss wouldn't let Lane Kiffin do.
I mean, is there even any harm now? I mean, let's say DeBoer loses the next game, man. Is there any chance we can get him?
I mean, yeah, there's a chance. The thing is that it's just the timing of it. Like he's not gonna accept the job as long as they're in the playoffs, and we really shouldn't be waiting for him. Like I'm not. So my whole thing with DeBoer, I mean, I slightly favored Dillingham, but I'm okay with. Go back a week ago. I'm okay with both of them. My whole thing is, don't wait on DeBoer. Give them both offers. If DeBoer wants to accept it before he's out of the playoffs, then let him. But don't wait for his game next week to offer Dillingham. And I think that that's what Dillingham was doing. He was. I brought this up with Bull. I brought it up earlier. If I'm Dillingham, I'm at a place that I love. That it's my alma mater. I have a job here for life. I'm their number one guy. You want me to come there, you got to make me a number one guy. So make me a 1A, 1B with DeBoer, but don't make me second choice. Don't make me the backup. And so I feel like it's kind of funny that the timing of him signing his contract was sort of like the deadline of them giving him an offer before DeBoer wasn't an option.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I felt like we should have given them both offers and given them offers that they couldn't say no to. And then it's like, who wants to accept it? But instead, Michigan wanted to go in with that arrogance that you guys should be lucky that you're getting an offer from us, from Michigan, and didn't treat him like he was a priority. And it's the same thing that they did with Jim Harbaugh trying to re-sign him after 23.
Oh,
And
Ghost just entered the chat.
It's whatever, but so
right.
So what do you think, AD? What do you think? Like who's your next? Like, give me your next like 3 to 5 candidates.
Clark Lee, one. Probably do Jeff Brom next. And after that, I mean, if we're doing the interim route, dude, I would almost just make Chip the interim, dude, to keep him around for the offense. Maybe keep some more of the guys, and keep Biff as the associate, and then keep Wink. Like, I don't know, dude. I would just say, dude, if we can't get Clark Lee or Jeff Brom, dude, like, what are we doing here? I really don't know, man.
A couple good points there. I mean, that's the thing is, like, again, I think Biff wants to be at Michigan. I don't think he wants to be the head coach. Like, I've been told directly from people around the team, he does not want to be the head coach. He's willing to do whatever we need him to, but he doesn't want the job as head coach. So yeah, maybe the solution is to promote Chip or Wink or somebody, and give them a year or two contract and see what happens. Because at this point, are they worse than Brom or Lee? Like, don't get me wrong, I like Lee. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I know Chad's been talking about Glenn Schumann from Georgia.
I think Schumann's a hell of a coordinator, but my hang up with him is that, again, we'd be promoting a guy to first-time head coach at Michigan.
Yeah, but he would also come with a pipeline to a lot of the SEC talent as well.
I mean, dude, we're in desperation mode at this point.
We need to get a name.
I don't really know, man. Like, what are we trying to get out of the next guy? I mean, if there's no good options, man, I mean, at this point, might as well just do the interim thing, dude. Right?
I mean, well, then that's kind of what I brought up earlier. So, like, so on the video that I did a week ago, I basically said there's two ways we can go. We can either try to get the next 10-year head coach at Michigan, or we can get a 3 to 5 year guy to come in, immediately sort of stabilize the culture, set the program up to hand off to the next guy on what I said would be like a 3 to 5 year contract. So I think if we were to have gotten somebody like DeBoer, Dillingham, Clark Lee, somebody like that, Brom, I think we're trying to hit a home run with a guy for the next 10 years. If it's not a guy like that, then it needs to be somebody with immediate credibility to give confidence to the players, to be able to retain the players, to be able to, stabilize the culture. And that's the only way that I would go for like an NFL guy. And I mentioned that, it's obviously it's a long shot on some of these because, like, there's questions about all of them. But, like, in the NFL, for example, a lot of times when a coach leaves, either because they got fired or because they've just sort of like overstayed their current position, it's more beneficial for them to take a couple years off from the NFL, go do broadcasting or college or something for 2 to 5 years, and then be the top candidate for NFL jobs a couple years down the road. So if you're looking at a couple guys like that, I mean, I brought up, Mike Tomlin. He's been at one job for 20 years.
Yes, I'm all in on that one.
I don't think Tomlin does himself any favors if he goes immediately from the Steelers to the Titans, right?
Right. That's
but
basically if he were going to college
if he were to go to like someplace in college, immediately brings that credibility and able to sort of do a 3 to 5 year contract, set the program up to hand off to the next guy before going back to the NFL. Maybe, I brought up Todd Bowles because Troy Bowles is on the team and he's got the credibility. I brought up Brian Flores, being a guy that has been a head coach, is a great defensive mind, runs a scheme that's very similar to what we've been running here at Michigan since 2021, and who currently will not get head coaching interviews in the NFL because he's involved in a lawsuit that's suing the NFL. So, like, it would make sense for these guys to sort of take a step away from the NFL to do like a 3 to 5 year contract. And I think that that's the other option. If we don't think we can get the next 10-year guy, then get a guy with immediate credibility that can stabilize the program.
That'd be, I mean, who do you have that as then? Like what, Jeff Brom then, or what?
What, the 10-year guy?
Well, no, the patch over guy.
So for me, it would have to be somebody that, like, okay, like I think if Kyle Whittingham comes in, I don't see him staying for more than 3 to 5 years, right? Or if we got some of the guys like I just mentioned, like if we were to bring in, like Mike Tomlin or Todd Bowles, I think that's a 3 to 5 year situation.
And I don't like any of this, dude.
To the chat, I'm not saying that Mike Tomlin, Todd Bowles, Brian Flores, any of them are likely options. I was just trying to provide a sort of a different option than the next 10-year coach, somebody that would come in with immediate credibility to stabilize.
Yeah, and I honestly, if we're going for an NFL guy and John Harbaugh's not on the table, then I am 100% in on the Mike Tomlin pick, because I think even if he does go from the Steelers to the Titans, that's basically like going from the NFL back to college anyway. So you might as well just go to a college team. And what better college team to go to than one that needs a head coach and is and runs a similar scheme to the Steelers, the Michigan Wolverines. Like they both run first, set up the pass kind of schemes. We're starting to move into more of like the pass first type of mentality, but still keeping that ground game that Michigan's known for. Mike Tomlin has always done a really good job of keeping the Steelers relevant, even when they don't have any talent on the team. Like they've always
dude, we're
struggled.
not getting Mike Tomlin, dude. What are we talking about?
I know. I know. I'm just letting people know that if there's there's a small chance we could, like really
we're not getting
tiny,
Mike Tomlin, dude.
It's a tiny chance. But if we do, it's not a bad pick. But the realistic candidates, I mean, we're probably looking at like the bottom 3 that we had on our list at this point. But I would honestly would be all right with Clark Lee. I'd be all right with if we definitely can't wait for DeBoer, that's for sure. I'd love to get DeBoer. I think he'd be a good pickup, but we can't wait for him. I think honestly, Clark Lee would be a good pick. Technically, I mean, realistically, Mike Elko could also be an option now. Texas A&M got eliminated today, so
yeah. So the thing with Elko, like I'm not opposed to it, and like if he gets hired, I mean, we have to give credit to Joe Klatt, who immediately put Elko forth as an option. Like, I mean, on the video he did like a day or two after Sharon got fired.
Yep.
But I just didn't see it, because everything I've seen about Elko is that he's like completely bought into the A&M culture at Texas A&M, and I haven't heard anything that indicated he was, looking for a change. Antoine, BYU's coach is Kalani Sitake, and he just signed a big extension. That doesn't mean he's not an option, but it's less likely of an option.
What about David Shaw?
No.
Oh my God, no.
No.
I mean, there was some buzz.
I'd rather get PJ Fleck than David Shaw.
Yeah, I mean, there was some buzz about him, but yeah. Yeah, I think Mike Elko would be a good pick for Michigan. Honestly, they do. I mean, Texas A&M and Michigan do kind of have similar ideas.
Dude, we're not getting Mike Elko.
We could.
What are we doing here? We're not getting Mike Elko.
I mean, we don't know who we're getting at this point. We could be getting anybody.
Dude, Dillingham just turned us down. You think we're getting Mike Elko? What are we doing here?
I mean, I don't think Dillingham
I don't know.
turned us down. I just don't think we offered Dillingham.
Bring up Elko the last couple of days, and like I said, Joe Klatt brought him up almost immediately, but I haven't really bought into that very much.
Right. I mean, at this point, I mean, anyone who's not already re-signed their contracts on the list, even people with contracts are on the list, because we'll buy people out. We got Michigan money. We got that. So I mean, honestly, anyone could be on the list. I don't think
Texas
we can look
A&M
at.
has just as much money, bro.
Well, I know, but I think the only people we can really eliminate are a lot of the NFL people, unless they're not currently signed to a team. Like, for example, like Brian Daboll, he could be a potential option because he's not currently.
Brian Daboll is not an option as long as Wink Martindale's here.
I mean, I don't see a problem with that.
Like I said,
Wink go.
NFL options. I told you from the beginning I didn't think that Tomlin was an option, but I could see an argument made for why it would make sense. But
yeah.
But if we were looking at, like I said, NFL guys, I mean, someone, brought up Monken earlier that Antoine did. That's potential. But, like, I think that, Todd Bowles, there's been talk in Tampa Bay that he's not the guy there anymore, and he's got Super Bowl credibility, and his son's on the team. That would make sense. The Brian Flores thing, I think, makes sense because he should be a head coach, but he won't get a head coaching job in the NFL as long as he's involved in that lawsuit. So stepping away from the NFL would allow him to be a head coach in college and then, be here on a 3 to 5 year contract, get the lawsuit done, and then can go back to the NFL.
Hey,
I think those make sense.
Somebody mentioned Stallions. Is he currently fighting Michigan or not fighting, but fighting the NCAA on his show cause?
I don't know.
Because, I mean, we can't really...
But you know what, though? I'm pretty sure, wasn't there just recently somewhere in the South, a show cause got struck down by a court because it was trying to prevent somebody from making a living or whatever? So listen, apparently show causes don't matter anymore.
I mean, if that is the case, then yeah, honestly, if that's the case, then we can all start considering Stallions as a potential head coaching replacement.
Right.
So I mean, let's think about that for a moment. If we can start thinking about Stallions as a potential head coach, where's the downside of Stallions coming?
I mean, I wouldn't bring him back as a head coach, but I would definitely bring him back on staff.
I mean, what was he, our offensive coordinator?
He was only a staffer.
Oh. I mean, we could bring him. I don't think we should. I personally don't think we should bring him in, just because of the bad publicity around him. It would definitely put too many eyes on Michigan when everyone's looking at you. Even like everything becomes clear. You know what I mean? Like we could not make a mistake, and then we'll still be found doing something. But.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really.
So Antoine asked about Aaron Roderick. I don't know much about him other than he's the OC at BYU, but like I don't know much about him.
Yeah, I think it'll probably be like Whittingham or it'll be Brom.
Yeah, I don't think that they're going to look at guys that don't have head coaching experience. That's why, like, I think Glenn Schumann's out. I think that they really, whoever they bring in, they want it's to be somebody that's either got the credibility to stabilize immediately, or or somebody that, like in Dillingham's case, who's young and energetic enough to really kind of connect with the players.
Also,
I mean, if we're just doing a placeholder guy, dude, you couldn't really pick a better guy than Whittingham.
That's true, and
right, he'd be a good bridge.
My only thing with Whittingham is that he has to be bought in from day one. That his role here is on a, however long, 3 to 5 year contract. Set the program up to be handed off to the next guy in a better situation, but he's also got to be fully invested in, like, legitimately, like, doing the best job that he can. What I don't want to see is he's on the verge of retirement. He sees an option for another quick payday before the end, and he's not really invested. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Also, we have a guy who came up a while ago, potentially Obama, I guess. Hey man, how you doing?
Hello. This is your president, Barack Obama. I'd just like to say, there's an armed robber in the house. Armed robber in the house.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be an actual person. I was wrong.
Are we sure that was not Ripstar?
And it could have been. Could have been Ripstar.
We need to get a better producer backstage to screen these calls. Send your applications to LichMax626 on X.
Anyway, I think that's gonna do it for our time today, though. I guess before we go, do you have any last thoughts there, AD?
Dude, this sucks. This whole thing just sucks, and we probably deserve it, man. We really do. We deserve some pain, and hope everyone keeps copies of their Rose Bowl and Natty and Ohio State wins, because it looks like we're not going to be doing any of that anytime soon. So just enjoy the holidays, man. Luckily, Michigan football is not paying our bills. There's things bigger than all this. We're just fans. It is what it is. Enjoy the time off, man. Enjoy your time with your holidays. Enjoy the time with the family, and be safe, everyone.
Absolutely.
Hey, appreciate you coming up, man.
Thanks for coming up, man. Then Kinetik, what you got going on? Where can people find you?
So as usual, you guys can find me everywhere at Kinetik615. If you want to shoot me a message on X or Discord at Kinetik615, feel free to. You can find me here on the Gamer Sideline. I also do some videos over on Kinetik615 on YouTube. And then if you get a chance, check out the QR code somewhere. It takes you to my GoFundMe account. A lot of you have been following for a while now, and to everyone that's contributed and shared the link, I appreciate it. I did get an update that my arbitration date, which was supposed to be this month, because of the government shutdown, it got pushed back to the end of March. So now I'm just, asking for a little bit of assistance to help me and my mother get by until I can get to the arbitration date to get my disability so that I can get the surgeries and get back on my feet. So if you're able to check it out, consider donating. $1, $10, doesn't matter, whatever you can afford to spare without hurting yourself financially. It's much appreciated. And even if you can't donate, share the link out on social media. Just getting eyes on it helps a ton. So appreciate everyone.
You can also find that link in the description as well.
Appreciate that as well. But yeah, and just like I said, I'll be doing the next show I'll be doing. I'll be doing a watch along podcast tomorrow for the Minnesota Vikings New York Giants game.
All right. And then for me, you can find me at LichMax626 on all platforms. If you can't find me on a platform, I'm probably not there. You can also find me right here at the Gamer Sideline. We usually do shows on Friday for Football Friday, but my work kind of held that up and kind of caused us to have to cancel that show. So we just decided to do a Saturday show instead. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You can also find me on Mondays over at the Maze Madman channel for Maze Out Mondays, where I'm the producer / host of the Lich Pick segment. And without further ado, make sure you guys cheer loud, play hard, and remember, as always, we'll see you next time on The Sideline.
From joystick dreams to Friday night lights, it's controllers and cleats under podcast mics with Life Max driving deep like he's throwing a bomb, and Kinetik calling audibles, staying calm in the storm. From the field to the sticks, yeah, we bring the heat. With Kinetik and Leash Max, never miss a beat. When the final whistle blows or the credits roll, we're signing off strong, that's how gamers take control. Catch us on the sideline, where legends chill, where the playbooks flip and the passion's real. If you heard the takes, then you know the drill. Till next time, fam, keep it clutch, keep it skill. From the field to the sticks, yeah, we bring the heat. With Kinetik and Lich Max, never miss a beat. When the headset's off and the lights go low, we'll be back next game, y'all already know. We out.